Today we are here with Meg Kennon, Meg, and Muddy.
She's the star of the show.
Yeah, the lapdog. So we kind of figured it would be fun to kind of talk about how we met and racing and things like that. So Meg is a better storyteller at how we met because I don't remember this, but it is probably true.
Well, we met because I was already racing dirt bikes, and the Moors became a series, and I was going to the Moors, and one day Tayler just showed up. Never seen the girl in my life, and I'm back there behind her, and I'm just like riding, and we're on practice lap, and I was like, oh, look, a new girl, and like she was fresh, like beginner, new.
I sucked.
Yes, but every race after that, like I would kind of hop in and kind of just like follow her for a little bit, and like one day I was like unknowingly like kind of felt like I was like trying to push her, and Jody's like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh no, like she's getting better, like it's a new girl, I'm excited, whatever. And he's like, yeah, but that'll be your competition one day. And I was like, yeah. And Jody's like all about the, you know, girls racing the dirt bikes and stuff, but he's also all about picking on me. And so one day I was just like, oh, I'm gonna like go introduce myself to her. The horse lady's calling now.
Okay.
We'll wait. I'll call her back.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I can edit.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
It's fine. Anyway, so I go over and introduce myself to her, and she's super quiet, super awkward, super shy. But I don't care. If you're not a talker, and you're just a keep to yourself type person, perfect. I like a good challenge. So I just never gave up. And then when she started going to school for auto collision, I was like, hey, I do auto collision. I went to school for auto collision. Like, here's my phone number. If you ever need anything, like, let me know. And instead of waiting for her to need something, I was like, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's school? You know, because that's just who I am.
I was wondering if I ever actually texted you, but
You did message me back about school. You probably didn't want to, but
it's probably something my mom made me do.
probably. Anyway, so as time goes on, we became friends, like at the races and stuff. And all of us girls were always just hanging out at the races. Built a pretty good friendship, like you would. But we never like hung out outside of races. So then I put together a girls' ride weekend, which we still do every Labor Day weekend. But the first time was just 4 of us. Yeah, Carly, Kristen, you, and me.
Yep.
And it happened to be Taylor's 21st birthday.
Yep. We rode dirt bikes.
Rode a lot of dirt bikes. A lot. I made them drill up and down the creek. They weren't too happy about it. And then I got them all drunk.
Yeah. And I think we even put in like around 12 hours within like 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Most of that was in one day because obviously my birthday was on Sunday.
I think so. Yeah, because it was Labor Day weekend, so it was.
Yeah, so we didn't ride much. Like, I think we did half a day Sunday and a full day Saturday, I think.
Yeah.
Because,
and then we rode a little bit on Monday, but like I said, took everyone to the bar and got them intoxicated. Yeah. Which that was a fun, like that was probably one of my funnest times I've ever been at a bar.
Yeah, we went to Hardwood Hills Ranch, and that's in the middle of nowhere, which is great because I'm not a people person. And so we ended up going to a bar that was smaller in the middle of nowhere, which is great. Not a lot of people.
But it was also great for me because I love people, and I love old people, and I love drunks. And all these old locals were just chilling in the bar, and all night long they paid for us, like not in a creepy way, like they did not hit on us a single time, but they paid for a lot of our drinks. They paid for us to play music the whole entire night. They gave us all these like fake roses before we left.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, and it was a great time. And I had the whole place to dance for myself. We moved the tables. We were just having a grand old time.
Yeah. And then they made me a beautiful cake. And we had a piñata that was full of alcohol that I had to break. And some of those videos were quite entertaining.
They were. We'll have to dig them up.
Yeah.
But also while we were over there decorating the rock house, which I'm pretty sure if you ask Bob, there's still sparkles in the rock house. How old are you now?
I'm 28.
Yeah. This was her 21st birthday, and Bob first swears that there's still glitter in there. I don't see it. But while we were over there decorating, I get this call from Tayler to please come save her because there's a spider in her shower.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. I don't forget funny things. Okay, I forget a lot of things, but not funny things.
Okay, so I don't like spiders. I have meltdowns. I don't care if I'm bigger than them. I can't kill it because I am scared to death.
I have to find the video of you coasting down a hill yelling at me that there's a spider, and I'm like, it's fine, start your bike and ride it, and we're having a whole ass conversation.
Yeah.
Can I say bad words? I probably shouldn't say bad words.
I don't care.
We'll crop those out.
I say some bad words.
Anyway, yeah, she's really scared of spiders. Like, I used to ride in front of her and take my head and go like this and catch the spiders just so I didn't have to stop and let her pick up her bike because she laid it over because the spider was on her.
I do crash because of that.
Yeah. They're really not even that scary.
And
I know some of them are poisonous, but...
And, like, there's been times, I've gotten much better, but there's been times where I'm, like, crying on my dirt bike because there's a spider, like, in my face now. And I have to, like, get rid of it on my own. Like, if I'm riding by myself at my parents', like, it is not good. I need a riding buddy that wants to ride 3 to 4 times a week that is taller than me.
But you have to make sure you get them for her.
Yeah, and I've even tried the stick thing, hold the stick out, but, like, that freaks me out still, too, because it could crawl on me.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't bug me. When they're crawling across my goggles, sometimes I get a little cross-eyed and almost wreck watching them, but I don't like spider webs on my face. That I can't do. I'll stop and get a spider web off my face. But they're really not that bad. So anyway, got her drunk. Became best friends ever since then. She couldn't get rid of me.
No. And we have a lot of dumb stories, so. I do a lot of dumb things, apparently, and I forget about half of them because I guess it's just there's too many things that happen in a year's time. I can't remember all of them.
Yeah.
I thought my recent years of, like, me going to GNCCs and that stupid stuff happening to me was, like, a new thing, but thinking about it, I guess it probably wasn't.
Well, see, like, goofy, weird, awkward things happen to you. A lot of goofy, weird, awkward things happen to me, but it's not as noticeable when it's me because I'm just goofy as shit all the time. Where you're, like, so serious sometimes, and then when funny things happen to you, it just makes whatever happened, like, 10 times funnier. 10 times funnier. Like, I have zero regards to what I look like, what's happening, if I sound goofy, and so everybody expects that from me, but when things happen to you, like people hugging you in Miami, still a favorite.
We went to Miami.
Still a favorite.
One year, and, like, her and her dad knew a bunch of people, and, like, I didn't know anybody. But I was the one getting the hugs, and I'm not a hugger.
Cubans are huggers, and they like to stand, like, this close to you.
Oh, man.
That was my favorite. We were at the microbrewery one time, and Tayler is, I don't know, just, like, standing there talking to, like, people I know. And when you meet new people, especially in Miami, and, like, the happy-go-lucky people down there, like, they want to know everything about you. And with a name like Bonecutter, that automatically already strikes up a conversation. Well, this one guy, like, he was standing, like, this close to Tayler. And she would back up, and he would get closer. And she would back up, and he'd get closer. And then I would back away, so he would keep getting closer to her because it was so funny.
Yeah.
And then everybody hugs, and she hates it.
I got this box that's, like, really big that nobody needs to be inside unless I welcome you.
Or you force your way in.
That, too.
Yeah.
But it's a boundary. Like, we're already too close.
Hey, you're the one that put me here and told me to do this.
I know. But
it's funny. It's quite funny. If you ever see somebody hugging Tayler, just watch her face.
yeah, apparently, like, I was never aware of this until Meg started making a bunch of comments about it, but if you pay attention to my facial expressions, it tells the whole story and you know exactly how I'm feeling, because apparently I'm really bad at hiding it.
You're very bad. But most people also don't know what your faces mean, so, like, I've spent a lot of time with you in a lot of situations, and my feelings don't get hurt easy. It's not easy at all. So, your face tells it. People just don't pick it up. They just don't pick it up.
She told me the other day that she was watching me try to sell something to somebody I didn't know, and she thought I was in physical pain.
Yeah. But I'm such a good friend that sometimes I just don't help. I just enjoy it. Just stand back and watch it. Soak it all in.
Yeah. So, I would say my favorite race or adventure would be, with you, would be the Colorado trip.
That was a good trip.
It was. I had a little Ram ProMaster, and we put 2 dirt bikes in there and 2 road bikes, because we thought we were going to road bike in the mountains.
Which we did.
We did, yes, but it was short-lived. Like, I've never
And I got very sunburned.
Yeah. She got sunburned. I thought I couldn't breathe. I've never been, like, it was so intense and so scary, but like so cool. I'll have to find, I should have those GoPro videos.
See, my lungs feel better in the mountains. Like, even when we were riding dirt bikes and everybody was like getting tired, like people not from Colorado were like getting tired, or like when I went rock climbing with my uncle or whatever. Anytime I've ever been in the mountains, I'm like, man, I feel so much better. Like, I feel like I have more energy, like I have more go. And it's weird. But yeah, the road bike was very fun. But that trip alone started out very entertaining. So we had this trip planned. Missy bought this trip for us to go ride in Colorado and do this clinic with Meg's bra. And I was like, hell yeah. Well, then my friend bought tickets to Shania Twain concert. And if anybody knows me, nothing gets me going more than Shania Twain. Like, that is my jam. So I go to this concert. I get home at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I live 3 hours from Tayler. I get in my truck and I drive all the way to Tayler.
I had her bike and all of her stuff already loaded, other than her clothes. And
Yeah, you did have that.
yeah, because we raced the weekend before. That's Payne's favorite story about you.
Oh. Anyway, so we'll have to go back to that because I don't really know if I know what that is. But I get to Tayler just in time for... Ain't no way I was letting her drive me first off. She started the trip. But get in the van, we take off. I think I fall asleep for like 5 seconds flat. And then ironically, Shania Twain comes on. And I just bolt up dead from my sleep. This was Taylor's telling me this on the drive. She's like, you bolt up dead from your sleep, you start belting it out. And then we come across the bridge. Well, with a little teeny tiny amount of construction.
And I'm like...
She says, Meg, how do I drive across the bridge? I said, Tayler, straight. You just stay in the lines just like you did. You just drive straight, not into the wall.
Well, I'm like
straight,
like this, death gripping it, and like as close as I can get to the windshield, freaking out, asking her for advice.
Yes. So after that, I'm like, hey, how about I drive? Because there ain't no way I'm sleeping. No way I'm sleeping. We'll get there a heck of a lot faster, which will get me to sleep a lot faster. So when we got there, I got there and like fresh people for me to talk to. Ain't no way I'm going to bed. I'm stoked. I'm like trying to meet everybody that's rolling into this campsite. Till Tayler and the guy that was running the shindig told me I should probably go to sleep. I had been awake for 2 days because I had worked all day, went to the concert, drove to Tayler, and then drove all the way to Colorado. So we started off with some pretty entertaining stuff to begin with. And then we had the whole trip, which was phenomenal, a blast. The road biking was definitely entertaining.
Yeah. And like we experienced a lot of things. Like this was my first Colorado trip, and like thinking back, I was kind of dumb. I didn't pack snacks to be out on a trail ride that we were going for 8 hours.
Yeah.
And that's a problem with me. I start doing dumb stuff and I forget how to ride, and then I get shaky and I can't even think. And then tools. Like I know my dad told me, but like I didn't listen or something. I don't know. So I didn't have a fanny pack. And then like rain jackets.
Yeah, we had to buy rain jackets. I still have my rain jacket from Colorado.
Me too.
I still wear it anytime it rains. It was so cold when it was raining though.
Yeah, and like we rode through snow, rain, sleet. It was kind of warm one day.
Yeah, but like in our defense, like we had never been on a trip like that. Anytime I've been on a trip like that, my dad or my uncle was there, or your mom and dad were with you. Like we were just. Your mom just said, "Here, go, guys, have fun." She didn't they didn't tell us nothing else. Which we're pretty independent. Like, got this.
Yeah, we don't need help. We got it under control.
And we did pretty good.
Yeah,
we really did.
Yeah, somebody gave me snacks.
But there was a few things that would have been great to know, like fanny pack,
spark plugs,
rain jackets.
Which my dad did tell me to pack an extra spark plug, and like I fouled a plug. It wasn't even on the first day. I think it was day 2, which was like the dumb thing. Like I made it through a full day, and then the next day I fouled a plug. And he told me, and I didn't. I had them in the van. I didn't have them on me.
Yeah, so we learned that lesson too. Now I don't go anywhere without a fanny pack with tools, because if I do, Chili gives me crap. So
yeah, and I look for the old person
or Meg.
I still don't ride with tools. Like at enduros, it's always funny. I always get guys asking me, "Hey, you got any tools?" "No, I'm eating snacks. You want one?"
Yeah.
And then
I carry tools.
They just stare at me, and I tell them, go find an old guy. Like, that's who's gonna have it. Or Meg.
Yeah.
But I got snacks.
Well, see, there was one race where I didn't take my fanny pack because I still don't race with my fanny pack. But anytime I go like out on my bike, not racing, and actually I might start racing with my fanny pack. I popped my chain off my Sherco. I was racing my Sherco, and I popped my chain off, and I had to sit there and just toasted my whole race. And when Chili got there, it wasn't, hey, what's wrong? Hey, can I help you? It was, where's your tool pack? Well, how long have you been sitting here? How long would it have taken you to fix it if you would have just had your tool pack? Because I was just beating on my chain with a rock trying to get it to like unbind. So now it's, you just take tools. You can fit your snacks with your tools, I promise.
I don't know, I have a really small.
Well, you have flex bars, and they make little pouches that go right in there. You can put your snacks in there. I'm just saying, you know. So, anyway, take your tools. And Colorado was definitely a good time.
Yeah.
Driving home was, I tried to let her drive.
Yeah, we got to Kansas City. I got so stressed out because there was construction and traffic and like so many lanes. And like, I pulled over on the side of the road.
She was just gonna, we got to this point where lanes added, and she was like on the inside lane. And I was like, Tayler, you're gonna have to get over. She was like, I'm not getting over. I'm like, Tayler, what if these lanes don't go away before our exit? She's like, well, then we're getting off. I'm like, oh my God. So the very next exit that we could get off without her having to change lanes, I said, hey, get off. And then there was Dairy Queen. And I say I got the ice cream for her, but really I think I needed it. Because...
Yeah. So, like, if all of y'all would have known, like, the backstory to my driving before, like, knowing that I go to all these national events majority of the time by myself, you would understand why it's a big deal.
Until the NEPGs started, I was just her chauffeur.
Yeah, I would get in the passenger seat, no questions asked.
Yeah, she wouldn't even... She would just be in the passenger seat, and I'd walk out to get in the vehicle. I'm like, cool, I'm driving.
Yeah. One time Mariah came down here, and she wanted to go get steak from...
Colton's.
No.
That's the one in Jeff.
We got a Texas Roadhouse. We got one of those. And so she wanted to go do that. And she had Robbie's truck, and she gets in the passenger seat. I'm like, nobody's done this to me. I had to drive.
Did you drive a vehicle you didn't even know?
Yeah.
No way. Ain't no way I would let you drive my
vehicle. I know,
vehicle.
and I was like, this has never happened in my life. Usually I'm the one doing this. But it made me laugh. And then I told her about that.
Like one time, we were going to a 24-hour race. And I was so stoked because my parents rented an RV, so that way my mom would go. We've never had an RV. We camped in tents. We didn't have an RV. Like driving, you can lay in the bed RV. I was so stoked. Then I had to drive Tayler all the way to Texas and all the way back. I didn't even get to ride in the dang RV. But I didn't let her know that then because she would have felt bad. But, yeah, it's always been Meg drives Tayler.
Yep.
That's probably why I also don't like to let people drive my van. Like, I would rather just drive everywhere. Like, I drove all the way to Pennsylvania and back. I let Huck drive for like 1 hour on the way there. Maybe. I let him drive the last 3 home from Indiana after dropping Rachel off, but I just feel better in the driver's seat. So it's kind of a good friendship we got here, because not gonna happen. You ain't driving my stuff.
Fine by me. I don't
We'll
want
sleep.
To. Yeah.
We will take an extra day to get wherever we're going.
Yeah.
Try to think of some other funny things. Oh no, there's a lot of them. Pretty much at a dead still, though. I don't think I have anything else in my brain.
What was it like watching me in the beginning years? Like, my,
Like beginning of you racing?
Yeah, that, and then like, as I started progressing, but I still can't touch the ground.
Entertaining. Definitely entertaining, because she couldn't never touch the ground no matter how much we lowered her bike or anything. And then like we would all be in the woods, especially like on our girls ride weekends. I remember one time because we were at the top of Cliffhanger at Harwood Hills Ranch, and everybody stopped before we went down it because I don't know why, we were all just stopping and talking. Here comes Tayler I think it was Kristen. Hits Kristen. Kristen falls over. I feel like in my brain, maybe I've just pictured this because it would be funny if it happened, but I feel like in my brain, maybe at some race or something, you like fell over and hit people and like domino effect. Or maybe it's just something I thought of because I thought it would be funny and you would do it. Still, anytime somebody like falls over when they stop their bike or hits somebody and knocks them over, like every time I think of you.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's funny at enduros. Sometimes like in between test, they don't put you on flat ground and they put you inside the woods. And those situations make me super uncomfortable because I can't touch and my dumb butt decides to like not pay attention that there's a hole next to me and put my foot down, and next thing I know I'm laying on top of another rider.
Yeah.
That has even happened last year. It actually happened, I fell over on top of Mike Wachowski, and it was like, he was just like staring at me. I'm like, I am sorry, I can't touch, and I'm like halfway stuck.
Yeah, and like I used to with the girls would literally just teach them how to turn their bikes around or how to like, you know, flop one leg over because I can't touch either, but I have longer legs, and like I guess I'm just more
coordinated.
I'm not coordinated. Like I'm so uncoordinated. Yeah. More coordinated than you, but like I guess my brain is just used to the just like, oh, hop over, oh, put your foot over.
Yeah.
Or Taylor's just like glued to her bike, and then boom, they're just both over.
I've gotten much, much better, but there is like incidents like at the enduro specifically still. I haven't done a ton of like, I mean, sometimes at St. Joe, whenever I'm trying to turn around, I do fall over because I don't even know. I have no idea. Like I'm trying to touch the ground, and if I would quit trying, that would be great. Especially if I'm just trying to turn around, there's no reason.
Yeah.
And like, that's why I've struggled with mud races too, because I'm always trying to paddle, knowing I can't touch the ground and it's doing no good. So I'm getting better with it, and I'm keeping my feet on the pegs, and I'm doing a lot better at mud races. But that was the biggest problem.
Muddy butt. I'm sorry we're waking you up. You guys need to keep it down. You're waking my dog up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was definitely very entertaining. But like I don't know. So like my favorite thing is like watching girls come into the sport and like get better and like help them get better and like help them have confidence to like stay in the racing. So like you were just like a perfect example of that. Like you were all over the place, like wrecking and all kinds of stuff. But like you didn't give up, and that was my favorite thing about you. That's probably why I just wouldn't let you not be my friend, because a lot of times people just give up. Like they want to quit a race, or they, you know, they just have a bad race, so then they complain about it, and it's not like complaining about it's going to do anything. And like with you, you would keep trying. Like you wouldn't just give up because that race sucked, or I don't know. No, I like that. And I would really, especially back then, do anything I could to keep girls in the sport, because when I started racing, I was the only one. Me and Valerie Cruz, and she left off to college like right shortly after I started racing. So it was like, try and keep them in here, but you could see your determination, which was nice. So that's why.
Yeah.
But it was definitely entertaining watching you.
What's your, and it doesn't have to be like involved with me, but what's your favorite racing memory of like all time?
I don't know if I really even have one. Which sounds dumb, but like I'm just a put my helmet on, follow the arrows type person. But definitely like in a bulk was back when like all of us did the Moors. Like when it was you, me, Carly, Kristen, and like all the girls were there. That was my favorite. Yeah. And we had like such a good group of girls, and we were all close enough that we could like battle and stuff all the time. Like I do like racing with the guys, and it is fun, and I've never had a bad experience racing with them. Like none of them have ever been rude to me. But like the girls, it's just different. Like I remember one race when it was the last time it may have even been the last year I raced the Moors. But like me and I don't remember who it was, were maybe Megan, were battling for the championship. And I watched Carly eat it. And she was like, because she had that rod in her back, so she was like stuck like a turtle. And I parked my bike and got off and helped her. Like, guys don't do that as much. They do. But it's like the girls, like we're so competitive. We will bump each other off the trail. Scared about a race, but... And maybe it's like the trail, like the Moors, I know a lot of times the Saturdays are like wide open, fast. And I hate wide open trails. Like give me rocks, trees, logs, like... give me something that's going to slow everybody down. And so if they're if those are the trails, then I might race the Sherco on Saturday, maybe, if you can get me off my beta. But definitely beta. The first time I rode a beta was our second girls ride weekend, and I had blown up my brand new KTM, and I don't recommend KTM. Anyway, don't come for me. But they brought me a beta, and I was riding it, and everybody's like, man, you look so good on that bike. I'm like, shut up. My KTM was only a year old. Like, we're not even going to talk about what happened to it, because it was dumb and it shouldn't have happened. But my KTM was only like a year old, and there was no way I was going to get another bike. Everybody's like, Meg, you look good on that bike. Meg, you're so fast on that bike. Meg, you need a beta. So then, 2 years after that, I bought a beta, and I've never gone back from it, and I will never go back from it. It is the best bike I've ever rode, especially for women. Like, I don't care what anybody says. It's just, there's no comparison to the way they handle. No comparison.
Yeah. And Beta's a really good company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They are a very good company, and they'll be even better when I convince them to put my handle back.
Yeah. And 2013 through 2019, all of them had a subframe that had a handle on the side, and that was super handy. Like, I'm not the one like trying to lift my bike, because in that time period, whenever I was on that age range of a bike, I was a wimp. No. It was mostly like,
yeah, I picked it up for you though, so I used your handle.
Yeah, she did, or I was just trying to like move it around in my van kind of thing easier, but I wasn't doing what she's doing, and she really misses it.
But so like when you pick up underneath a fender or whatever, it like digs into your fingers, or like when you people pick up on their exhaust, like
knowing it's hot.
I like my fingers.
Yeah.
So, but those ones were like in the subframe, and they were actually like ridged for your finger, and they were like as wide as your finger, so you had an actual smooth handle. And so when I do hard enduros, I can grab the handle, put my hip under it, and like pick up.
Yeah.
Which like my new 24 beta, it doesn't have that.
Yeah. So we took it off. Race bikes. I don't care if it's a hard enduro bike or whatever. Race bikes don't have taillights, in my opinion. And so the newer betas, they have on their taillight assembly, and it's not it's not something you wanted.
No, but it wouldn't have been my handle in the same spot. It changes the way you pick the bike up.
And it has little finger holes, and it's not like really easy to still grip. It's not a handle like that.
Like most bikes still have like handles. They're like little pockets, and they're little like ridges on the fender or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're back here. And the beta was like where I could hold my handlebar, I could grab that handle, I could put my hip on it and pick up at the same time. Like I'm not a weak person, so it's not like I can't pick my bike up. But also, and I'm not a super short girl, but I'm also not a super tall girl. And like, I just don't have that. Like I can't be reaching back here under my fender and like trying to pick while. And when you're in hard enduro, sometimes it's lift and push at the same time. So we'll be protesting that. I don't remember what got us on that. Oh, my favorite bike.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's hard to believe I'm running out of things to talk about.
Yeah. What is one piece of advice you would give to a newcomer girl or woman rider wanting to get into it?
This may sound... Can I give two things?
Yeah.
Okay. This may sound silly. Most girls want to come in and start on a small bike because it's confident, because you can put your feet down, and because the power is usually a little more doggy, and they feel more comfortable on these teeny tiny bikes. Do not go buy yourself a teeny tiny bike, because what's going to happen is you're going to get comfortable, you're going to be able to move on it, you're not going to be scared of the bike taking off anymore, and then you're going to want to progress. Most people cannot just buy a bike, get rid of a bike, buy another bike. Like, they just can't. So when you buy a bike that's that teeny tiny and you look like a giant on it, when you start progressing, you become to the point where now you're off balanced on the bike. You can't do what you need to because you're bigger than the bike. They're designed the way they're designed to ride a certain way. And when you're bigger than it, you throw everything off balance. You can't stand because you look like a big old monkey. You can't do things that you need to do once you get past that step. So I suggest you find people like me, or somebody that has smaller bikes that can like show you how to do it, let you borrow it, let you ride it. And then when you buy your bike, ride as many bikes as you can. Almost every single girl will let you get on their bike. We want everyone to do it. Ride as many bikes as you can, because everybody rides different. She likes her bike set up one way. I cannot ride her bikes. They're set up for a midget. I can't do it. She couldn't ride my bikes, but we could have the exact same bikes. So like ride everybody's bikes and see.
Figure out what you like.
Yeah, figure out what handles well for you.
And don't take one person's opinion as it's the only way.
Yeah, except for that 300s are the best. But for real, in all reality, like...
Depending on who you are and what you're doing.
Yes, like Tayler likes the 250s or the 200s better. I don't. I like the 300s better. You can be... Literally, you have to figure out your riding style and what you like best on the bike. And then go buy your bike. Don't just believe somebody because they say this bike is the best.
Yeah.
And then my second, but my most favorite is, if you're getting into racing, don't quit. Don't quit. If you drive all this way and you start a race and you pay an entry fee and you're not having fun and the race is hard and people are running you over and you stubbed your pinky toe, I don't care what your excuse is. If there's not a bone sticking out of your body and you're not having genuine heat stroke, because if you are, then quit, because that's dangerous. Don't quit, because that is experience. And if you're here and you want to race and you want to do better, keep going. No matter what, it's practice.
Yep. And I want to add 2 things. On that one, you chose to be there. Remember that. You chose to be there. It is fun. Even if it sucks, you'll look back and think, wow, that was kind of fun, or yeah, that did suck, but it made me better, kind of thing. Like,
yeah,
I have pictures of me laying on the ground, trying to pick up my bike. I was crying. But, like, I didn't quit that race, and it was a survival. And I will admit, I have not been back to that place yet. But I finished it. And so, like, just remember you chose to be there. So if you chose to be there, why quit? Why? And every time you quit, it gets easier.
Yeah.
So don't start the trend.
And if you're miserable and everything's hurting and everything's sucking and you just don't want to do it anymore, you're going to feel the same way when you get back to the trailer. And it's only, some races, 2 hours. It's only 2 hours out of your life.
Yeah.
You could be at work.
Yeah. You could be, there's a lot of worse things you could be doing.
Yeah, so just keep going. You're going to feel much better knowing you went to that checkered flag, even if it takes you forever. Like my last race, I just had a rough go on the start. I just wasn't having fun. I wasn't doing good. I was starting to get a little grumpy, and I came up on this kid who was stuck in the trail. Stopped and helped him. Whatever. It's fine. I could have probably tried to push and make it further, but it just wasn't happening. Like, I just wasn't having fun. And sometimes when you're just not having fun, you can get hurt. I've been there, done that. And you just have to make your race fun. So if you're not having fun, just pick a person that's a good pace. Ride behind them. If you wreck, take a minute. Gather yourself. Then keep going. Just don't quit. And like that race, that's all I did. I just kept going. Anytime somebody was stuck, I helped them. I came up on a hill with a super slick rock going up to this hill that wasn't slick. It was kind of tractory, but the rock was slick, and everybody just kept hitting it, wiping out. I just stayed there and helped everybody. And then I kept riding. And I had a great day. Just because you're not winning or not right there with your competition or have hit the ground a few times doesn't mean it can't be a great day. Just ride your bike, practice. Every time you hit another obstacle, that's more experience, more practice, more effort. Like, just don't quit. Don't quit. Unless you don't want to be competitive, then just do whatever you want.
And if you don't want to be competitive, don't go race.
Yeah.
I know it's an easy way to go, like, get on different properties and things like that. But it's also, you may not realize it yet, but it's hard on your mind and your mental. And it'll, if you quit races, it'll reflect in everyday life.
Yeah. And not necessarily don't go if you're not going to be super competitive. Because, like, some people can just have fun and still racing.
But don't go to quit.
Like, Jody Rock, like, he's one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. And he would stop in the middle of a race. And sometimes he'd be winning. And he would stop and he would rush over someone and be like, hold my bike, hold my bike. And then he would just Chinese fire drill around it. He would run in a circle around the bike, get back on and go. Like, you can absolutely go out and race and have fun and not have to be the top or even want to be the top. But just don't quit. Like, don't, when you said when people are getting into it. So when you're getting into it, just every race is an experience. And most people, when they start racing, they want to be competitive. They like the competition.
Yeah.
So go out and try and be your best. I'm not saying if you're having a bad day, you know, still you have to push the whole time. If you're in that mindset of like, I don't have to be the best, but like this is fun, just make your race fun, however it is.
Yeah. And like I can talk from experience. My first couple years, it was a battle to even finish. A battle to even get through the track. I had sweepers following me, picking me up. I was a little twig. I couldn't lift up a freaking TTR 125. And then for some reason I thought I needed a KTM 254 stroke. You think I could pick that up?
No, you could not.
So, it was... I've been there. I've been at the lowest. I've been there. But like she said, I didn't quit. I just kept trying. And then I finally realized if I practiced, things would change.
Practice helps. Exercise helps. Weightlifting helps.
Yeah.
I used to always try and get her to run. And she just wasn't a runner. And then one day she started running. And now she's like addicted to it. We got her
You can tell.
road bike.
Yeah.
Let's talk about road bikes. I love to road bike. Love to mountain bike. And Taylor's like, I want to do the road biking. So we pick her out a bike. Me and my mom and her go and pick it up. We go to the park that me and my mom like to ride at, like down where I live. And we unload the bike and Taylor gets on. And she says, will you hold my hand?
I forgot how to ride a bicycle. I hadn't rode a bicycle since I was like 10. And I was like, what, 22, 23?
Yeah. I said, Taylor, how am I going to hold your hand? I'm riding a bicycle. You're riding a bicycle.
And it's not the same as a dirt bike. I don't care what anybody says. It's not the same. It's like
not.
It's like a twig.
No, it's definitely not. Like they help each other, but it is 100% different.
And since then, I've gotten a mountain bike, and she was scared shitless when that happened.
Well, I had told you, what did I tell you? I can't remember what it was, but I had said something like, you're not allowed to get a mountain bike until like this many miles on your road bike or something.
Yeah.
So when she got it, I was a teeny bit nervous, but it did help that it's the
e-bike.
Yeah, because like she has something to kind of help her get out of sticky situations every now and then.
Yeah, I'm just pushing it up every hill. If you see me at a JNCC, don't try to bike with me, please.
I've never been to a GNCC with her, but I believe that.
Yeah. This year, Hunter's been biking with me, and he's been very, very patient. And sometimes he gets very impressed that I actually made it. But, like, it's one of those things where we're going to be out there for a while. Which you should be, because you should be looking at the track. That's the whole point of biking it. But I'm dragging my bike through the track.
It's there for looks.
Yeah. Get through the fields.
Yeah, it's like the... I can't with you. It's like the girls who carry their little... I think I only know they're called clutches because it reminds me of a dirt bike, but I think that's what they're called, the little things that hang around their wrists and they carry like their wallets and stuff in it.
I have no idea.
Like that's Taylor's. It carries her water and it gets her through the grass tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're called clutches.
Okay, we'll go with it.
Because I remember one of my friends saying like my clutch or whatever, and I was like, what?
Why do you have a clutch?
Yeah. We bought a horse named Coming in Clutch, and this horse is bred nice. I told my grandpa I'm keeping it because it's named. So I have to learn how to be a cutter. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
One more thing I want to add. When she was talking about trying other people's bikes and whatnot, so we haven't worked out all the details yet, but we are working on a project as far as like collecting some like TTR 125s and like a cheaper 85 and things like that, some entry level style bikes. And the plan with that is if you don't have a bike but you want to learn how to ride, we are going to start offering that.
Do what?
I know. That's why you have that TTR 125 in your possession, and why I wasn't concerned about getting it ready to sell.
Yeah, I thought about buying it for that exact thing. Can I like be a part of that, and I can like help teach people how to ride, because that's my favorite thing in the whole wide world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, whenever we get more information and details on that figured out, it'll be posted everywhere. So, But yeah, that is something like my dad really wanted to do, and I am a personal trainer as far as like fitness and stuff like that, so I'm really passionate on that side of things. And then like between my knowledge and like what Meg knows, and then Preston as well, we got a group of people that I think would be great for what we want to do. And I've wanted to go in that direction with the dealership for a long time because it's intertwined.
Yeah.
100%. And like I just want people to be safer. And I feel like it took me a long time like to learn like if I did this it would help, and if I like worked out it would help, and things like that. So I just don't want to see everybody struggle and go through that. And then like training properly also helps with injury prevention, and that's important to me as well. And then being taught how to ride the bike correctly, I mean, it's just everything.
A lot of girls are always like, oh, I'm scared, or oh, what about this, or oh, I'm too clumsy. We are clumsy. We are clumsy. I get hurt doing nothing. I broke every bone in my foot cleaning my bedroom one time. Like, we are clumsy. So that's not a problem. And I promise you, I can get absolutely anybody on a dirt bike and riding off by themselves confidently. I have yet to meet somebody that left not knowing how to ride a dirt bike. Some of them were very hard, but we got it.
That might have been me.
No, it wasn't you. Somebody else taught you, but somebody started you. It's kind of like a horse. Like, you know, you have a person that puts the first 30 days on them, they get the buck out of them, they get all that out of them. Like, I like to be that person. Like, I like to teach them to use the clutch and how to take off and all that jazz. Somebody did that for you.
I don't know who.
And then
like,
I picked you up.
Because like we had a 4-wheeler and I would ride that around at the house, and then I rode like my dirt bike like twice in the yard. And then I had a great idea. It's hot outside, let's go to a race.
Yeah. That's always a good idea.
Yeah, it was a great idea. I never looked back. But I don't know. I watched a lot of videos. Like, I think a lot of people are starting to catch on. Like, I'm a nerd when it comes to dirt bikes. I don't care what it's about. I will watch it and I'll read it if it's about dirt bikes or somebody that rode dirt bikes. Like, even I catch myself even watching Supercross or Pro Motocross, like zooming in and like looking at their form and things they're doing.
Yeah, I won't lie. If I saw this video pop up, how long it is, I'm not gonna watch it. I have a very short attention span. I'm a trial and error type person.
Yeah. I'm a nerd. So, yeah.
I was just looking for my dog.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff's dog.
Alright, anything else you want to add?
Nope. I don't think so.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I'm out of things to talk about.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching.